Welcome students. In this video we are going to discuss question number 21 to 30 of the chapter 5a alkyl and aryl halide substitution reaction of advanced problem in organic chemistry by MSO1 book. So question number 21 is among the given pairs in which pair first compound reacts faster than second compound in SN1 reaction. Okay. So in SN1 reaction the main thing is we have to go for the stability of carbocation. Okay. Carbocation. So we have to compare the stability of carbocation in all the cases. So if you compare the stability of carbocation, in this case the carbocation form here and in this case the carbocation will form here. So in option A the first molecule is a carbocation which can be stabilized by two hyperconjugation or inductive effect, and here we have five hyperconjugation. So it is very clear that the second carbocation is more stable, hence the SN1 reaction will be higher for the second molecule. In option B, we can see the initial form carbocation is CH3, CH3 plus CH2, CH2. This must be CH3. So in this case, we have 3 plus 3 plus 2, total 8 hyperconjugative hydrogens along with the inductive effects. But in the second molecule CH3, CH, CH, CH3, CH3, in this case we have total 3 plus 1, 4 hyperconjugative hydrogen along with the inductive effect. So it is clear that the first molecule form more stable carbocation compared to the second molecule. Hence, the SN1 reaction rate will be higher for the first molecule in option B. So we have got our answer, but we have to check the other options also. In option C, the initial form carbocation is this. Only hyperconjugative hydrogens, 4 hyperconjugative hydrogens are present to explain the stability, but in the second molecule we have resonance. So clearly the second carbocation is more stable compared to the first one. In option D, we have bromide here and we have iodide here. As iodide is the better leaving group, the rate of SN1 reaction will be higher for the molecule 2 or the second molecule. Okay, so in this question the answer will be option B, as the first molecule is going to give more stable carbocation compared to the second molecule of option B. Okay, so the next question is, what is the major product of the following reaction where HBr is used in excess? See here, HBr is used in excess. So initially CH2 double bond CH2 plus CH2OH, sorry, HBr will be dissociated as H plus and Br minus. So this H plus will react with OH, and we have this kind of situation where water will behave like a good living group, it will be eliminated and we will end up with a carbocation like this. Okay, now Br minus will approach this carbocation, and in the step 1 we will have this kind of product. Okay, but it is mentioned in the question that the HBr is present as excess. So excess of HBr. So double bond, this double bond, sorry, in this case this will be only CH, not CH2. This double bond can dissociate and we will get plus and minus here, and again we have to add H plus and Br minus. The final molecule will be CHBr CH2. So this is basically addition reaction of alkene. The positive and negative charge will be depends on the carbocation and carbon ion stability. Question number 23. It is very interesting question because SN1 SN2 will give the same product here. Okay, So first of all we have to check that in SN2 reaction there is no rearrangement. Okay, in SN2 reaction, there is no rearrangement possible. Okay, but in molecule A, if we form carbocation here, it will rearrange and it will go there. Okay, so there is some rearrangement possible, hence SN1 SN2 products are different, so option A is not possible. Same thing for option D. If we form initial carbocation here, it will rearrange and it will become here, it will come here because benzylic position hyperconjugation present, that's why this is more stable position for carbocation, hence again SN1 and SN2 will give different product. Now if we see option B, option B will give a very high stabilized carbocation. This carbocation is highly stabilized because 3, 5, 7 hyperconjugations are present. Okay, total 7 hyperconjugative hydrogens are present. That's why this carbocation is highly stable, and for this reason it will undergo only SN1 reaction. SN2 reaction is not possible. Again we can say that this carbon is very well statically hindered also, so SN2 reaction uh, don't like the statically hindered situations. Okay, so in option B we have statically hindered situations, so we can skip the molecule B because it can't give SN2 reaction in a larger extent. If we see option C, then this is a 2-degree carbon which can give a pretty good amount of SN2. So if we add any kind of nucleophile, suppose OH minus is a nucleophile, and this will be our product of SN2 because stereochemistry is not needed here, excluding stereoisomerism it is mentioned. Now this is for SN2, and for SN1 also if we see, this is our initial carbocation. This carbocation cannot rearrange because after rearrangement it will become less stable. Why? Not really less stable, there is no change in stability at all, because here we have 4 alpha hydrogen for hyperconjugation, here also you have 4 alpha hydrogen for hyperconjugation. So if there is an increase in stability, then the carbocation can rearrange, but in this case the stability not increasing almost. Okay, almost the stabilities are of the carbocations are same. That's why the option C will not undergo rearrangement in this case. So the thing is, if SN1 and SN2 will give the same product, we have to check two things. First of all, SN2 reaction is possible or not, because in option B SN2 reaction is not possible, and in option C we have to check that SN1, if SN1 reaction is possible along with SN2, then the carbocation should not rearrange itself to form more stable carbocation. So by this we can say that SN1 and SN2 products are same, excluding the stereoisomerism. Okay. So now question number 24. Consider the nucleophilic attacks gives below. Select in each pair that shows greater SN2 reaction rate. Okay. So here SN2 reaction rate, we have both same nucleophile, so it is not involved. If nucleophile is involved, but the question does not depends on the nucleophile here because both the nucleophile are same, and here we have two different leaving group. Okay, so always Br minus is better leaving group than O. Okay, because vacant d orbital or huge size of Br minus will make Br minus better leaving group. Okay, so in question number 24, we can say that for option A we have our answer, that is 1 will give more SN2 reaction rate. Okay, now for the second one we have SH minus and CH3SH as nucleophile. So here we have to go for the nucleophilicity. As we know that negatively charged nucleophile are more nucleophilic than the neutral nucleophile, correct? Negatively charged nucleophiles are more nucleophilic than neutral nucleophile. So SH will be more nucleophilic than CH3SH. So in option B also, 3 is 3 will give the more reaction rate of SN2. Now if you compare between chloride and bromide in DMSO. What is DMSO? This is polar aprotic solvent. So in polar aprotic solvent, the nucleophilicity is directly proportional to the charge density. Okay, nucleophilicity is directly proportional to charge density. So in chloride, charge density is higher compared to iodide because although the charges are same, but chloride will have lesser volume compared to iodine. That's why the charge density on chloride is much higher compared to iodide, and for this reason option 5 is correct one. And the last one, methanol is used. In the last one, methanol is used. Methanol is polar protic solvent. Polar protic solvent. In polar protic solvent, nucleophilicity is inversely proportional to charge density. Okay, nucleophilicity is inversely proportional to charge density. So we can safely say that the iodide will become more nucleophilic in case of the option D in methanol. So in this case, the answer will be 8. Okay, so 1358, 1358 is going to be our correct answer. Okay, so the next question is very interesting question because we will explain this reactivity in some other way. Here we have leaving group at equatorial position. Okay, so if nucleophile wants to approach this leaving group, it will fill some steric by these two hydrogens. Okay, these two hydrogens, because nucleophile will approach from the back side in SN2 reaction. Okay, so this is a SN2 reaction. SN2 reaction, it is written that SN2 reaction, and SN2 reaction nucleophile will approach from the back side of the leaving group. So in this case, in the molecule A, nucleophile will approach from the back side of the leaving group, and it will feel some steric hindrance if the nucleophile is pretty high or pretty larger in volume. Then it will feel some steric hindrance due to the presence of these two hydrogen which are present in the axial position. But in molecule B, the nucleophile will approach from this side only. Okay, the nucleophile will approach from backside from the iodine, and there is no steric present from the backside of this leaving group, as the leaving group is present at axial position. Okay, so if you compare to the reactivity of A and B, obviously B is more reactive because nucleophile can approach easily the electrophilic carbon and the reaction rate will be higher. Okay, so rate of reaction of B is higher compared to rate of reaction A. So in this case, A will react faster, so it's not our answer. A will react faster, it's not our answer. A will react faster, it's not our answer. B will react faster, this is our answer. But the logic of this answer is not correct according to me. Okay, so B is more reactive than, or the rate of reaction of B is higher compared to rate of reaction A, but the logic behind this question is not correct according to me. The nucleophile approach, sterically hindered or sterically free, should be the proper reason. Next question, question number 26. This question is very interesting, and the answer key of this question I think wrong in the MS Chauhan book. So what is given is we have to start with Z2-butyl. So Z represents cis kind of thing. So this is our Z2-butyl. Okay, Z2-butyl, and we have to react this Z2-butyl with bromine water, and the resulting bromohydrin then treated with methoxide in methanol undergoes the intramolecular SN2 reaction. Okay, so we have some methoxide here. So intramolecular SN2 is nothing but NGP reaction. So we will elaborately discuss this question. So we have cis kind of thing which is known as Z2-butene. Now if we add bromine water, this is addition reaction of hydrocarbon. Initially we have this kind of intermediate cyclic bromonium ion intermediate is formed. Okay, now this water will approach from the back side of this 3-member ring. As these two carbon are identical in this nature, so any of them can be attacked. So suppose water can approach this carbon and this CBr bond is broken, and we will end up with this kind of situation where we have OH, hydrogen, bromine, methyl, and hydrogen. Okay, now if we use methoxide can behave like a base, because methanol is not a strong acid, so methoxide can behave like a base and it will abstract this hydrogen, and we will have O minus, this kind of situation. Okay, now this O minus is oppositely placed with respect to Br. Okay, so O minus can approach from the back side and this CBr bond is broken, and the final product will look like this. Above the plane hydrogen, above the plane hydrogen, below the plane methyl, and below the plane methyl. So we have only one product here. We have, this is NGP. Okay, this part is NGP, neighboring group participation. So we have only one product here, and this will be our final product. So this is given in the question. This is given in the question. So this is our final product, and this should be the proper answer or correct answer, but this answer is given as equal amount of 1 and 2, which is completely wrong. Question number 27. Rank the following species in order to decreasing nucleophilicity in a polar protic solvent, most to least. Okay, so as we know that in polar protic solvent, if charge density is less, more will be the nucleophilicity. If we compare then between sulfur and oxygen, in case of sulfur the charge density is less, then sulfur containing any nucleophile is more nucleophilic in polar protic solvent. So 2 is the highest. So we have two options with starting with 2. Now thing is that we have oxygen and oxygen, both are oxygen in this case. Now the thing is that if negative charge is on the same atom, then basicity is directly proportional to nucleophilicity. Okay, so we have CH3, CH2, CH2, O minus. Okay, this group is showing some plus I effect, and it will increase the basicity, because with this plus I effect, this functional group will increase the electron density over oxygen. But in the third molecule, this negative charge is resonance stabilized. Okay, so negative charge density is less or basicity is less. So if we compare the basicity between 1 and 3, obviously 1 is more basic than 3, and this is more nucleophilic also. So the proper answer is 2 greater than 1 greater than 3. So D is the correct answer. Now this is very interesting problem. Okay, because the NGP kind of thing is very much important in this problem. We will discuss this problem elaborately. So we have OTS, which is known as tosylate, which is a very good living group, very good living group. So if we draw this structure again like this, see, we have nitrogen with two methyl group, and we have OTS like this. Now we have another molecule where OTS and NME2 is at the same site. OTS and NME2, they are in the same site. So for NGP, the nucleophilic center and the leaving group should present at the opposite side because SN2 type. So here we have nucleophile and leaving group in the opposite side, but here we have in the same side. So in this molecule, NGP possible, NGP possible, but in this second molecule, NGP not possible, NGP not possible. Okay. So in this case, if there is some nucleophile, in this case acetate is present, it can approach this OTS and it will give a normal SN2 product. Normal SN2 product. Okay. So the final product will be, OSE, hydrogen, nitrogen with two methyl group. So this will be the final product, and this is the only product possible in this case. Okay. So if we have OTS and the nucleophilic center present in the same site, NGP not possible, and in this case the external nucleophile can approach OTS from the back side. There will be some SN2 reaction, and due to this SN2 reaction we have only one product. Okay. Now we have to discuss the first molecule elaborately. Again, I am drawing this molecule like this. So we have nitrogen with two methyl groups and OTS. Now the lone pair over nitrogen involved in NGP. Okay, so OTS is eliminated, and we will get this kind of intermediate, hydrogen, hydrogen. Okay, now these two electrophilic center are identical, or these two carbons are identical. Okay, these two carbons are identical. So external nucleophile OSE minus can approach either of this carbon. Okay, so we are taking two different color to explain. Initially we are taking yellow. If we have this type of attack, the final product will look like this because this bond will be broken. Here we have OSE, hydrogen, NME2, hydrogen, and again if we have this kind of approach, this bond will be broken. OSE, hydrogen, NME2, hydrogen. Okay, so we have two products and they are enantiomer to each other. They are enantiomer to each other. So after NGP, the external nucleophile react with that intermediate and will form two products with equal amount, and they are enantiomeric to each other. So now if we get back to the question, so here no NGP, only one product, NGP possible, two enantiomeric product. Okay. So now we have to choose the correct answer. So here OTS above the plane, so nucleophile will approach from the below the plane. Okay, so here we have below the plane and we have two product, and this is the one product and another enantiomer is possible. Okay, so option A is the correct one. Now we have two graphs and we have to get the proper direction for this question. Which of the following is true about the A and B graph? So if we see that with increasing for graph B, with increasing static hindrance, the rate of the reaction will decreasing. This is kind of SN2 thing. With increasing static with increase in static, reaction rate will decrease, and for this A, with increase in static, reaction rate will increase. So this is kind of SN1 thing. Okay, so A graph represents SN1 and B graph represents SN2. So option A is the correct one. Last question of this segment is question number 30. So in this question, we have to choose the strongest or best nucleophile. Okay, so O minus, S minus in polar protic solvent. We all know that in polar protic solvent, if charge density is less, more nucleophilic. So sulfur is larger in size, S minus is more nucleophilic. Next, OH minus and H2O negatively charged. So we are here, we have 3. Now for 2, negative charge, neutral, again negative charge. So negative charge is more nucleophilic than neutral one. Then O minus and N minus. Due to the higher electronegativity of oxygen, negative charge about oxygen is more stabilized, and then it is more nucleophilic. Okay, more stabilization, more nucleophilic. So O minus is more nucleophilic. So we have, after 3 we have 1, 3, 1. So only we have 3, 1 in this case. So it is going to be our answer. Let's check again that this is correct or not. Now in DMSO, again in DMSO. So in DMSO we can think that this is O minus, O minus, O minus, but we have very much steric present in these nucleophiles. So nucleophiles must be less sterically hindered because they have to approach to the electrophilic carbon. So if the nucleophiles are very sterically hindered, then it is impossible for them to approach the electrophilic carbon. So we need less steric nucleophiles, and CH2O minus is very much sterically free and more nucleophilic, or the most nucleophilic in this case. So for option 1 we have 3, option 2 we have 1, and option 3 we have 3. So option D is the correct option. 3, 1, again 3. Okay, thank you very much for watching.